So today I want to talk about things that I wish I knew before I started my business. I have to tell you that the first 2 years in business were extremely difficult. Extremely difficult because I went into it pretty blindly. And now looking back, I kind of started with certain things backward, right? So I didn't develop a proper strategy initially. I didn't focus on my branding and my message initially. I focused on what I call the leaves of the tree, which is just like the outside stuff. Like, let me have a pretty grid on Instagram. White, purple, white, purple, white, purple. As long as it looks cute. It just was not what I really needed to do to start. I talked about a lot of things that I could help my clients with, but I didn't have a proper step-by-step strategy and a direct message to my audience, right? So I figured it all out, and when I started to figure it all out, everything shifted almost immediately. And that is when the roots, what I call the roots to my business, began to grow and actually, take deep depth inside like what I had established, right? That is when, I started seeing consistent revenue. That is when I started having repeat clients. That is when I started having, clients reach out to me instead of me wondering where's my next client going to come from. That is when I developed more of a system, right? And that entailed strategy development. That's everything. Branding development, like branding strategy. And I don't just mean like the pretty stuff. I mean the actual, like the foundation of who I am, who my clients are, what my message is to them, how I can help them, what their problems are, and then how I meet, all of these expectations from my clients. Having that clear communication in my branding and in my message, right? Now, like having assistance with my social media platforms, right? I'm telling you, the stuff that I wasted time on initially, like the pretty stuff and all that initially, this is why I'm so passionate about helping business owners build the right foundation from the beginning, because I know how much time they could be wasting. I know how much money they could be wasting. And also I know how much they could be giving up because they don't see results. They don't see results because they don't have the proper foundation. Everything keeps shaking. They have to keep starting over. That didn't work. Let me try this. That didn't work. Let me try that. But I'm telling you, when you establish the right foundation, when you have the right brand strategy, when you have the right growth strategy, when you develop those client avatars, when you know who you're talking to, when you know how to communicate with them, when you narrow down your main points, like all of that is part of your foundation for a business. And all of that I didn't know 4 years ago. So for the last 2 years, this is something that I have done pretty consistently, and definitely for the last year that it's just, there was no pause in that consistency. That's another thing. When I first started, I would get that momentum, like, yeah, let's do this. I'm excited. And then, when I wouldn't get the results I was after, it would just kind of die down, and then I would just not post, or, feel a little bit let down. A few weeks would go by, and then, okay, I would start again. So it was like this, right? So every time I started over, I was almost like lower in the social media algorithm world, right? Where I wasn't connected to my audience anymore. So it was actually, I was doing a disservice to my own self, my own business, right? So staying consistent, since I have stayed consistent, this is something that has truly transformed my entire business and made a big difference in how I even communicate with my clients and my confidence mindset as a business owner, and sharing our services readily, and always being available to speak to somebody at the drop of a dime and be like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, this is something that consistency will bring you so much more than just the foundation to your business. Will actually be what begins to build that system that you need, because every business needs a system. You need to know how you're going to get clients, how many clients or products you're going to be selling, how you're going to meet your monthly revenue goals, your yearly revenue goals. Like, all of that is important, right? And if you don't do it properly from the beginning, it's not going to work. It won't work. I have learned this the hard way, but at the same time, I learned it, and I'm very happy and proud that I can talk about it now, and I can say I know why that didn't work, and I know why this works, and this is why I can help my clients and ensure that they start off on the right way. And also, if they haven't started off in the right way, I'm like, you're good. I got you. We can do this, and we can start over and ensure that they actually build those roots to their business tree.